Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are, and welcome back to another episode on the Annoyed Dad channel. In today's, we are just going to do a quick follow-up on the River ET12 Incubator. You can see the little jiggies poking his head up. Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, so we've had our eggs in it, basically, and we've gone through everything. So I just thought I'd run through now some of the things we have learned, some of the things we like about it, and some of the things we don't like about it. And then at the end of the video, we'll get these little yellow balls of fluff out of there, and we will place them into the brooder. So to start off with, first things first, as you would have worked out, we have taken out the cradle that held the eggs. And if you saw the first video, you would see that this little key is the bit that goes into the cradle at the back, and you just flick this from one side to the other to move your eggs, which works brilliantly. It's fine. It doesn't bother me one little bit. The only issue I have is that there is virtually zero resistance on that. So as you flick it over, even if you put just a little bit of pressure on it, you flick it over. And that obviously isn't very good for your eggs. So you have to hold it and you have to carefully do that all the time because there is zero resistance on there. So that was one thing that slightly wound me up. It's a good system, it works well, but it's just got that little niggle to it. The next thing, this blue light here that's been flashing away, that flashes away whenever the incubator is warming up. 9 times out of 10, that's perfectly fine during the daytime, but because it's here in a room that we use, you can see the kids have got their Xboxes and everything else over that side. You turn down the lights in here just a little bit, and that blue flashing light gets right on your nerves. Absolutely horrible. Next thing is that it gets through water like nobody's business. You can see in there, that's bone dry. That was full up of water. They both were just yesterday. But yeah, it just goes through it very, very quickly. A lot of the comments we had on this one were asking, does it hold the temperature? That just seemed to be everybody's thing. Does it hold the temperature? The whole time it was up here, it said 37.5. That hasn't changed. Now, I don't like the incubators where that doesn't change. It hasn't gone up, it hasn't gone down, it's just stayed the same. So we brought some of these little thermometers, and we was able to put this end inside there while the eggs were still in there. This would read 38.5 when it was on the eggs during the day, and it would drop down to maybe 36 at night. Part of the problem I think with that is that this incubator has got so many holes in it. It's got the holes here for the water, which are obviously going to allow airflow as well, but also up underneath here, see if I can get you in, see if you can see. No, you can't really see it very well. We'll have a look once we take out the chicks, but there's holes all the way underneath there, which is where I was able to feed in the cable, and it seemed a bit of a pain. Now the eggs have hatched, we've got a slight problem. Normally I would turn around to people and I would say, look at your eggs. If you can see any eggs which are pipped, don't open your incubator just yet. Give those eggs that are pipped a chance to hatch. But take a look inside. What can you see? Okay, let's try through the other window. What can you see? The problem is that the chicks have pushed the first one out, pushed the eggs straight down to the front. So we had no idea how many have pipped or anything else like that. And because you've only got these two holes to be able to see in through, you can start counting, but you don't get very far with your counting before you've realised that, have I counted that one already, or have I not counted that one already? And I don't quite know what's going on with that one. The other thing is that I don't think it's very well sealed up. If you look just here, if we let the camera focus in, hopefully it will focus in, you might just be able to make out along here, I'll get some on my finger, is a lot of what I call chick fluff. So it's all the down that comes off the chicks, and you get that built up on the inside of the incubators. It gets around the fans and other places like that, and that's what you clean out after every incubation. But why am I getting it here? I shouldn't be getting it here, because it's probably coming out of the gap there. Oops, sorry, the gap there, where there's only these two screws here. This piece is probably lifting forward just a little bit. So anyway, we put 12 eggs into there. We had to take 2 out because they just didn't develop. And we ended up with 10. They were due yesterday morning, so we're now 18 hours ahead. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open that up. Well, actually, I'm just going to move it over to the table behind me. We're going to open that up and then we're going to move the chicks into the brooder. So I'm going to put the camera into a tripod. I know that the wife and kids want to come along because, you know, it's, oh, it's chicks, isn't it? Aren't they lovely? Oh, we love chicks. And they want to be involved with that. So, yeah, I'm going to get that done and we will cut straight back in when we open up the incubator and we see the chicks for the first time. Right, okay, so me and my infinite wisdom, I have gone and left my tripod down at the farm, so I'm going to have to record this bit by hand. But hey ho, diddly do, we recorded the last bit by hand as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up, we're going to look at the chicks, we're going to inspect the chicks, make sure they're all happy, they're all healthy. We're going to place them into the brooder, which is just behind us here. This is actually an old Italian incubator, but the fan on the top of it was playing up, so it was just like, no, we're going to stop using it. So it's got the brood plate in there, it's got the feed, it's got water. They'll be happy, they'll be healthy in there. We're also going to inspect any eggs that are left, just in case there are any chicks that are a little bit slow hatching. So, wifey or child, would either one of you like to open up the incubator, please? Do, 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 do.
Hello.
There we go. I think that's 7, if I'm counting properly.
Yeah, 7.
These are light Sussex, and they are day olds. So, there we go. So we look at their feet, we look at them themselves, make sure they're happy, make sure they're perky, and then we place them in to the brooder, just like so. And they will of course be looking around and thinking, what the hell's going on?
If the wife doesn't steal them.
So, no, just get them in there, please. And what we might need to do is we might just need to point them in the direction of the heat pad, but they ought to work that out quite well themselves and quite quickly. So there we go, that's the chicks in. They are day-old chicks. If you ever wondered what a day-old chick is, that is what's called a day-old chick. So then what we do is we'll just go through the remnants, and you can see we've got empty eggshells. That one there's not empty. That one there isn't. There should be 3, and there are 3. And we have got this one here that has pipped. Anything going on in there? Sometimes they do pip and then die because they don't get out quick enough. And we got nothing on that one, and we got nothing on the other one. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably place those into an incubator and we'll just wait and see what's going on, and we will go from there. Now, what I was saying about the holes, you can see we've got the hole where the turning bit was, and then we've got a hole, a hole, a hole, and then we've got it all the way down this side as well. There are so many holes in there, it's a bit unreal. Luckily, a lot of the rubbish and stuff has actually fallen through to the bottom piece, so that should make it quite easy to actually clean it up and get this cleaned and sorted out. Now, the big question you're going to ask is, am I going to keep this incubator? And the simple answer to that, my wife stood next to me shaking her head, the answer is no. Not going to keep it one little bit. For one, I don't like how you can change the temperature so easily on it, or anybody can change the temperature so easy on it. I don't think it holds the temperature well enough, even though we've been indoors and it's been kept indoors the whole time in a place where there's a constant and like a temperature. I don't think it has done very well. And it is just a bit of a pain in the butt having to flip it over each time. And each time you flip it over, having to watch yourself, making sure that you don't flip it too quickly. I was planning to do a YouTube giveaway. So if within the first week of this video, you can think of a way as to how I can actually give this away, leave it down in the comments below, and if we get enough, I might do something over on the Facebook page, facebook.com/annoyeddad. It's down in the description below if you want to follow the link. So I will put the camera in with these cheeky chicks, and I will say thank you very much for watching. If you have not already done so, please do hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, because this video's got chicks in it. And until the next video, thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.